Канаді Конгрес українців Канади поширює акцію «Stand with Ukraine» та заохочували всі українські громади по всіх містах Канади в неділю 6 лютого проводити публічні акції на підтримку України. Одна із перших таких акцій із символічним міжнародним акцентом на підтримку України відбулася під консулятом Російської Федерації в Торонті.
Патріотичні вигуки, промови, синьо-жовті прапори і плакати. Продемонструвати солідарність і підтримку Україні прийшло більше 300 людей. Натовп зібрався під стінами консульства Росії в Торонто, аби протестувати агресії ворога.
Ми зобов'язані відстоювати те, що для нас в житті має цінність. Я так думаю, що ця акція навіть говорить про те, що Канада – це є друга батьківщина для українців, і це важливо.
Акція «Stand with Ukraine» була започаткована Конгресом українців Канади для поширення свідомості щодо військової агресії Росії та заклику до дії. 6 лютого українці у всіх провінціях Канади вийшли з прапорами і плакатами для демонстрації єдності і підтримки України.
Ukraine's security is Europe's security, it's the world's security, it's Canada's security. We have to do everything possible to deter an invasion and to support Ukraine. And if we do that, we will be successful. And if we're successful, we'll be able to celebrate much more, not just for 1 year, not just for 30 years, but for generations to come, in Ukraine, here in Canada, and around the world.
It's so great to see everyone here, so many friends standing against the Russian potential invasion of Ukraine, and doing it right outside the Russian Consulate to send a strong message that there's no way us as Canadian patriots, as Ukrainian patriots, will allow this to happen. We want to send a strong and clear message today right into the Kremlin, right to Vladimir Putin, to get his hands off Ukraine. All of us as politicians got banned because we were out there speaking loudly against Vladimir Putin and his kleptocracy. We know that Putin is provoked by weakness. And that's why we have to make Ukraine as strong as possible to deter this potential invasion. So we stand with Ukraine today, and we know that if we stay united all around the world, but especially within the NATO nations and members, that we will succeed.
Серед усіх присутніх до канадського уряду звертались учасники Українського конгресу, а також представники різних політичних партій і націй з закликом надати Україні належну військову допомогу.
Today the sun is shining on this event because people know, Mother Nature knows, that everyone stands with Ukraine. I, as one of the parliamentarians in the House of Commons, stand with Ukraine. I'm proud to host the Bloor Street West Ukrainian Festival in my riding every year. I can't wait to have all of you back. But in the meantime, I've been speaking out in the House of Commons. I've been speaking out in Take Note debates. I've been hosting town halls with Chrystia Freeland. Why? Because she's taught me about the Hamada, all of you, and about what you believe in and what you want me to be advocating for. And what I will continue to advocate for is the territorial integrity, security, and sovereignty of Ukraine against Vladimir Putin and Russia. Thank you. Slava Ukraini!
Червону руту не шукай вечорами, ти у мене єдина, тільки ти, твоя врода, то є чистая вода, то є бистрая вода, сильки.
What are we asking today? We ask that allies stand with us, that the international community stands with us. We ask that they support Ukraine, which gave up its nuclear weapons in exchange for assurances of its territorial integrity and sovereignty. We are calling in that chit today. Please stand with us. Some of our allies, the UK and the US, are not afraid of provoking Russia. They are providing defensive weapons, and we ask Canada to do the same. And finally, what I keep repeating to is the Boże Borone scenario. In the event of a further incursion, there will be a huge humanitarian crisis. Ukrainian Canadians, as they did in the Second World War, are preparing for that. The Ukrainian Canadian Congress, together with the Canada-Ukraine Foundation, have established the Ukraine Humanitarian Appeal. Please donate to that appeal. We thank the government of Saskatchewan, who has already donated. We are waiting to hear from the Ontario government, from the Alberta government and others.
Під час українського ралі було висвітлено проблему втручання російських військ на територію України, що призвело до анексії Криму та Донбасу. Також було оголошено низку заходів, необхідних, аби запобігти подальшій загрозі з боку агресора. Серед них тяжкі санкції для Росії, постачання зброї Україні та блокування російських медіа.
Now, the 4.5 million Canadians of Central and Eastern European heritage are calling on the Canadian government to do a number of things to support Ukraine. First and foremost is to deliver lethal defensive weapons to help Ukraine defend its sovereignty against Russia. Second, we need to target Putin and hit him where it hurts the most, his own pocketbook. That means that we need to place sanctions on the oligarchs that enable and support him, and especially those oligarchs that keep his money. And third, what we need to do is make sure that Russian state media platforms like RT, like Planeta, and all others are not able to be broadcast on our cable systems and are off our airwaves, so that they will not promote hate towards the Ukrainian community, the Central and Eastern European community, and that they can no longer try to destabilize our democracy. Take RT off the air.
And we'll continue to and stand with Ukraine to ensure that the governments around the world provide Ukraine with what Ukraine needs. They need defensive weapons, they need sanctions against Russia, and they need real support. We must say no to Putin, we must stand up to Putin, and we must stand with Ukraine.
That I remember in the early 1980s attending demonstrations at the Soviet consulate in Montreal, where I grew up on Mosaic Avenue, and we would shout together with other peoples of the former Soviet Union, including you, Ukrainians, for freedom from the Soviet Union. And it came. But I want you to know today that Latvians are with you in this time of difficulty. And we hope and pray for a free Ukraine forever. Long live Ukraine.
Ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького